Hi friends, welcome to Coaching 101. I wanted to take all of your questions and I want to walk you through them like we're kind of sitting together or like we're on a team call, because basically that's what we're doing. I have created PowerPoints and little presentations for you, and we'll walk through it step by step together so that I can share more and make it more personalized that way. Um, that's what we're going to be doing. We will get right to it. And actually, I did reach out to my coach, and we have come up with this idea to host these Q&A calls once a month. It'll probably be in the middle of each month. Um, so that will be something that comes in the future. However, this is what we're going to do now. So I want to walk you through part one. I've just started. This is all within the last 2 days that I've kind of created this through the questions that you were asking on the chat. So we will work through it. I will answer some of the questions. Some of the questions I will answer just from here because I didn't write them down because I thought they were maybe too complex just to put in wording and way too long. So we will get started with that. I'm just going to pull up the chat. Sorry, my computer's going to do that. It's going to keep doing that because it's just stupid. So I have the chat here, and I want to share my screen with you. So we're going to share. I've never done this before, so let's just see. Okay, we want this one, I think. So is it going to go? Okay. Welcome to Coaching 101. So we have two teams here. We have Team Warrior Nation, which Jess leads. She is the CEO of it. She's a student. She's a full-time worker, and she's just an overall a really cool gal to be a part of. We connected a little over a year and a half ago now, I think, and it's been so cool to connect with her. And then we also have my team, Team Live and Love, which is just full of so many cool ladies, lots of diversity, and so I'm pumped to be doing this with you. We are at the end of September. Where the frick did the year go? I remember it being March as if it was yesterday. So let's get started. Let's dive into it. Let's commit to the last, we have I think 98 days left of the year. And a few months left of quarter three. So let's get ready to level up for the end of the year, for quarter four, and really just show each other show ourselves what we're capable of. We will dive right in. I don't know how to, do I just click? Hey, okay. So through the busy, Jess is a really good coach to talk about this with. She actually just did a team call literally yesterday. So if you haven't watched it, watch it. But it's possible. When I first started, I was an apprentice, so I was in school Fridays and Saturdays. I had a full-time job at a daycare, being an ECE student apprentice. So it was 8 to 4. And then I also had a relief job, so a support worker with community living. So it's totally doable. It's possible. It's all in the way that you see it. But time management is huge. Literally just did a call this last night. So if it sounds repetitive, sorry. But have you actually ever tracked your time? I did this over a year ago, and it's good to come back to every few months. I noticed last week I was spending way too much time on Netflix. I would give myself a break, and it was from 4 to 6. That's 2 hours a day. So times 7, that's 14 hours of Netflix in 1 week. That's insane. Times that by 365 days of the year. It blows my mind. So have you ever tracked your time hour by hour? There is gaps in your time, and if you say that you're too busy, it just means it's not a priority to you right now, and that's okay if it's not, but that's what you're saying. If you say that you don't have time, it's kind of where you're at, right? And that's fine, no judgment at all. But it's just saying that it's not a priority, which is don't take offense to that because I'm not trying to offend you. But it is possible. So track your time, see where it is. I know for me, I can get stuck in this scroll. I'm going to take my watch off. It's really annoying me. I can get stuck in the scroll for far too long. So I kind of have to set boundaries on my phone. And then time blocking. I gave the suggestion to Charlie Shannon's PS coach a little bit ago, and she's been loving it. Lay out how, like I do it at night sometimes, lay out how your day is going to look, when you're going to wake up, when you're going to work out, when you want to work your business, what is in your day that you need to commit to. So do you have to work? Do you have an appointment? And if you're waiting anywhere, that's a great time just to pop on, even if it's for 5 minutes, and add to your network. Connect, get your inbox, tackle that inbox. I don't know about you, but I cannot stand seeing like my DMs out the roof. But commit to time blocking, whether you want to do it as soon as you get up and plan for your day, or do it the night before. Whatever works best for you. We're all different. We all can work our business differently. But that's totally up to you. And sometimes, like, I don't always time block my entire day. Sometimes I'll time block my morning. Well, actually, I always time block my morning. And sometimes I'll time block when I want to sit down and work, whether that's 6 to 9, 7 to 10, whatever that may look like. Next point. You have to have a plan. If you don't have a plan, it's likely, or it's easier to fall into the failure side of things or feel like you're failing. For me, I'm a visual type of person, so I like to write it down. I have my weekly planner, which is actually downstairs, but I do also have, I never thought I'd ever be the calendar type of person, but I'm a calendar person now. If you ever had planners in school, I loved it. But literally like week by week, day by day, this one's like for a full year. And then it has like the months, but which is like kind of where I write the sneak peeks. I write team calls, national wake up, everything. But then I also get to plan out my day. And that's kind of where I usually do it on Sundays. Like I always sit down on Sundays and I plan ahead, but we will get to that later. And then always, always, always give yourself grace, because 1, you're learning, so you're trying. 2, failure is a way to learn. For me, it took a long time for me to understand that I actually wasn't failing, that I was learning what didn't work and that I was learning what does work. And no one can ever succeed unless they fail. So Edison, when he invented the light bulb, I think that's who, yeah. He literally had 1,000 or more tries before he actually invented the ones that we're using today. So if he had given up, what would have happened, right? Like, don't give up, give yourself grace, be patient with yourself, reach out to people. And anytime there's a new goal, it can be challenging, but it's not impossible. I heard this quote and it says, difficult is hard, but impossible just takes a little longer. And that's something that I would tell myself, my mantra that I used to tell myself over and over and over again, because sometimes it feels like either hitting emerald or hitting diamond can be impossible, but they're not. I can do it, you can do it. If she can do it, we can do it, right? So, yeah, give yourself grace, find an accountability business partner and work with them, layer up on the accountability, have more than one partner, which we'll also talk about later on. And do the things you said you would do. If you can keep a promise to have a lunch date with someone or keep a promise to your mom, you can sure as hell keep a promise to yourself that you want to be in this, that you want to commit. And that's literally just a decision. It's a choice. Sorry if that sounds like tough love. That's just kind of how I speak. But yeah, hopefully I don't upset any of you. I hope you know that I'm coming from a place of love. Stop the scroll. Stop it. I used to have to set timers on my phone for like when I could have free time on social media, because I love it. I binge it, but everything needs to be moderate, right? So I spent way too much time wasting on there. If I can watch a million stories, then I sure as hell have time to invite, connect, and work my business, something that's gonna give me that financial freedom, give me that time freedom. And it just makes me so happy, like when I get to connect with these girls. So yes, don't get stuck in that rabbit hole. Timers, timers, timers. I will preach this to the freaking grave. Like when you are working, turn on airplane mode, turn on do not disturb, and just shut the world out and get that laser focus, right? Get it. You have it in you. You just have to find it and pull it out. So timers, when if I'm doing a power hour, we always do this in guided power hours. We set timers, whether it's 20 minutes, whether it's 5 minutes, or like even a mental timer. If you're in like waiting for an appointment, which is kind of hard to do now, for 5 minutes, I'll be on here either tackling my DMs because it's such a big task for me, or inviting or adding to network when I have smaller amounts of time. But these things right here that I'm sharing with you, they have literally changed the way, like the game for me. So check them out, try them, see what works, touch base with your accountability partner, share what you're going to do to level up, and do it through the busy. Another one, set boundaries. Know what you're willing to give up and what you're not willing to give up. So for me, I used to just be on my phone constantly, and my boyfriend got really annoyed with me and got really upset. So now I've come to a place of like, okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, like now time with you, I will not be on my phone unless we're like hanging out in like a shop or something. But if it's like quality time, I try not to pull out my phone, just so that he knows like that, because I am a quality based person. So set those boundaries, know what you're willing to work through and what you're not. If we're all watching a movie or whatever, and it's just like everyone's kind of chilling out and on their phones or whatever, because that's the time that we're in, I'm probably gonna be in my inbox or like sending invites. But yeah, like know your boundaries, set boundaries for yourself, share that with your sorry, do not have COVID. um but know your boundaries, know what you're willing to work through and what you're not willing to work through. Inspo for content, this was a huge one, so I love this because this is something that I used to be like, Shauna, like my coach, where are you finding all your like content from? Personal development, I am reading the 5-second rule, which is by Mel Robbins, and it's amazing. I'm like, damn girl. And I'm also reading Untamed by Glennon Doyle, which if you haven't read yet, both of those books you need to get on, either on Audible or the hard copy. But I like to highlight. So anything that sticks out to me, I'm like, holy crap, or like a whoa moment, I'll highlight it. And then I'll find a photo, I'm like, damn, like this really spoke to me today. And I'll just like I'll pour my heart out from what I pulled from my book and to the photo. And I like word vomit. Also scheduling the 5. So when I first started and I felt so overwhelmed, I was like, Shauna, like I asked a lot of questions, okay? No question is dumb. Ask the questions, because if not, you won't move forward. You won't get past that stuck. And more than likely, someone else has that question too. So I always like, well, I mean, not now because I'm not playing sports, but my 5 were hockey, baseball, being outside. So adventures with Chris, or family and friends, fitness and community, coaching. Like, so on Tuesdays, it would be Transformation Tuesday. Coaching, it would be, or because Thursdays are payday and recognition, I would shout out the girls on my team, or just really talk about how it actually feels to have girlfriends, because I was the type of girl in high school, I'm like, no, I don't hang out with girls, I don't do their drama. So that's just me. But now I'm like, I'm obsessed with our team. I'm obsessed with having the community and having girls who dream big and dream bigger, but also know that it's going to require work, right? So know your 5, post your 5, plan it out if you need to, write in your calendar what Monday is going to look like. It could be a call to action post. So like we've talked about this before, call to action, Transformation Tuesday, whatever your 5 are, what make you you. And don't like copy someone else, because that's not going to make you you. You're not going to speak to your people. What makes you you? What do you want to talk about? What makes you happy? What brings you joy? Talk about those. Goals and progress, proof of the product. This one's huge. So I actually talked to one of the top coaches on our team, and she said a huge shift for her was that she was actually being a proof of the product, which is the workout. So are you sharing, your weight loss journey? Are you sharing your weight gain journey? Are you sharing, the shakes, the energize? Do they like, people want to know what's working, and if it's working for you, they might be able to see themselves, if they've connected with you, that it's going to work for them too. Share your struggles, share your journey, because not every day is easy, and don't be afraid to share that, because it's so relatable, right? Like, we don't have superpowers. Like, most times when I'm posting my workouts, I'm like, damn, like I don't want to do that workout, or even through the workout, I'm like, fuck, this sucks. Like, it's all a mental and a physical battle with our bodies. We're constantly battling the way that we feel. Share that, because then they will be able to relate to you. Challenge groups. I love this question. So to make it fun, me and Jess have been brainstorming for a long time, and I've been reaching out to other PS coaches just to try and bring that diversity back into our team page. But here's a thought. Are you personally giving these groups your all? Are you posting in there every day? Are you sharing a sweaty selfie? Because if you're not, how can we expect other people to? this was a hard one for me to realize a year ago. I was like, damn, like I have people on my team, I have people on my side, but I'm not even posting. So how am I helping them, right? So if you're not giving it your all, you can't expect people on our, like the girls on our team to either. So that's a little bit of tough love. And I know that we're not perfect. There's been days I don't check in, but I make it my mission. I have a timer again on my phone that reminds me every day that I need to check in, because it's no longer about me. It's about our entire team. So that's just a food for thought. Now let's get to the fun stuff. So we can play in games. We've done bingo before. We've done like partner up and tag your it kind of stuff. We have spirit weeks and challenge groups. And don't be afraid to bring something to the chat to make it a part of you, right? Don't be afraid to bring in some of your own ideas to the team, because everyone connects to someone different. Even if we're not on the same team, we are on the same team. So we've done this before and it's so much fun. And then also partner up with someone. Maybe you can have a different partner every week, so you're connecting with different people. Maybe you can have a different partner every month, because then it adds the extra layer of accountability. Yes, you have your coach. Yes, you have your challenge group, but now you're going to have a partner that's going to create that bigger, that bigger momentum. And it's going to be like, hey, she checked in. I'll check in too. Or, oh shit, I didn't check in today. Jess messaged me. I better do that right now. Right. So partner up, and do what you can. Like I said, these groups are meant to be fun. They're meant to be, filled with diversity. So bring your own creativity to our page. The more, the merrier. So if you're wanting to, like if you create a spirit week or something and you want it to stay at the top, after you post it, you can mark it as an announcement. And I think you can also pin it to, I think Jess was saying, and there is a section in the Facebook group that says announcements, where you can find all the posts that have ever been made announcements. So once you create your banner, your weekly challenge, your game, or you bring something to the table, or even a post, like if you want to post a really cool quote, mark it as an announcement, because then it stays at the top even though everyone's like posting, right? So it stays there until the next announcement is made, right? So that's kind of how that works. Dedication routine. So like I said, I have a reminder that goes off to that reminds me to check in, because when I was first starting out, it wasn't, I didn't really think of it, to be honest. It was something new, so it was harder for me to whereas now I'm just like I'm constantly like in there, because it's become a habit, right? And this is what I needed when I started. So we're always growing, we're always learning, and we're not meant to be perfect. So like if you don't check in a day, that's fine, but make sure that you check in the next day. Or even post, like sometimes I'll post right before I go to bed, or in the morning, last night's check-in or yesterday's check-in. And then if there's a particular post that you're wanting to track with, or that you want to say you got a notification, like crap, I can't look at it right now, you can save. Facebook has like a feature that you can save someone's post, and then once you go back to Facebook later, you can look at all the posts that you saved. So let me know I know there's a couple questions about this stuff here and about posts. So let me know if that was answered. If not, we can go deeper into this and I can look into it with you. If not, we will keep going. Excuses. So this is something I try and be graceful with, because I had a lot of excuses when I started too. Both of these excuses were something that I said to Shauna for 3 months straight, because I was in school Friday, Saturdays. I had a full-time job Monday to Friday, and then I also worked as a supply relief worker for community living. Plus I was in hockey, and I wanted a social life, and I had a boyfriend. So like it was just a lot of things. 2018, yeah, it was a lot of things going on in my life then. And so I try and come back to these objections with a personal story, whatever it is. So I was freaking busy, but I knew like something had to give, because I was so stuck, and so I felt so unworthy, and I felt lost. I felt so damn lost. And so I was like, I knew what I needed to do deep down. I knew that I needed to start working out more, because I wasn't happy with my body. and I felt insecure going into the change rooms and changing literally almost butt naked into my hockey gear, right? So that was something that I knew I needed, and it's just the actual like commitment, like the action of committing is the hardest part. Once you commit, it's like bam, I'm excited, right? So I try to remember that when speaking to potential ladies that are interested. But I also say, like, we do have 20-minute programs, which is less than an episode on Netflix. It's less time that you probably spend I say it in a nice way, but it is. It's literally less time that they spend on their social media or, you know, on Netflix. And so that's something that I usually say. I always refer to Netflix because I'm a Netflix binger, ex Netflix binger. But I also talk about my stories. Like, I'll finish a workout, say I finish a workout, and then I realize, like, holy crap, I've made so much progress since when I first started. And I'll share my progress, and then I'll lead into, but I was really busy when I started. I was in school, I had 2 jobs, I was playing sports, I had a social life, or tried to. And it's crazy to see how like 20 minutes a day can change your entire, like, it's literally changed the last 2 years of my life, right? Which blows my mind. So I make it personal. I share how I felt, the excuses that I had, and then I bring it forth to them, and I say it with like a sincere heart, but I'm also like a little bit of tough love to them too. And just be human, understand that a no or these excuses are not a no for forever. They might just be a no, not right now, but it has nothing to do with your, like, you. It has everything to do with them and where they're at. And it is expensive. Like, I full out will say I think it's expensive, but I also know what it's done for me. Like, I know that my digestion is way better. And if I were to have to buy like all these supplements to help my digestion, it would probably cost me longer in the long-term run. With the gym membership, and I know like a gym membership around here is freaking expensive. Like, for an entire year, it's like $600 or $700 or more. So whatever, like, I've said it before in my stories, like I've compared them before on my stories too. But I also share that I did have like excuses for 3 months, but I was also saving for like a month before I actually committed to it, which meant I had to stop going to Tim's as much. But that was a sacrifice that I was willing to make, and make it kind of like a treat day for myself when I go to Tim's. But be human, come back to these objections with a sincere heart, but also with some tough love. Follow-ups. So follow-ups can be hard. It can feel overwhelming, but I promise you, once you find a system, it's not overwhelming, and it kind of gives you some clarity. So everything is downstairs, I think. I have a tracking system, so I am a paper and pen kind of girl. So I will, every person that I message that says, sure, send me the info, I'll write their name down in my book. And I go like January, February, March, April, May, and I write every single person down that was interested. And then next month, I'll come back to every single person that said they were interested, and I'll keep going back. Like, even I think yesterday or 2 days ago, I went all the way back to January, and a girl signed up. So it just goes to show you that sometimes they're not ready, and sometimes following up with someone from like a year ago can help, right? But you really need to have a tracking system in order to have a clear sense of who do I follow up with, or where do I even start. Google Streak is a really good source. I don't personally use it. I've never used it, but I know girls on our team do. And Teamzy, which is something that I've just heard about, so I'm going to look into that and see if that's something that works for me as well. I like to switch things up to keep me interested too, so they're both online. I think Google Streak might be free, but I know Teamzy has like a 30-day free trial, which most things do have a free trial nowadays. But find one that suits you and commit to it. And when I say commit, I don't mean half-ass. I mean go all freaking in. And you will see like a shift in the way that you feel about follow-ups. Create your own system. Do you want to follow up weekly? Do you want to follow up every like 2 to 3 times a week? It's your business. Be the CEO and take it by the hands. I like to do follow-up Fridays, so either on Thursday, like both days sometimes, depending on how many I'm going to follow up with. But Thursdays and Fridays are the days that I choose to follow up, just because that's like payday for people. So I don't know if that will help. That's something that I heard a long time ago. I was like, okay, that makes sense. Like, because a lot of times I was like, oh, I don't have the money right now, but I do. So that was another excuse that I got a little bit ago, a long time ago actually. So then I just did Thursday, Friday follow-ups. So 2 days a week, not bad. Find a tracking system, update it throughout the week if you want to. Get clear on what you're doing though. And then, so the way I track is, yeah, I've already said it. When someone wants information, I write their name down. And if they tell me a month, and I'll ask them when can I follow up with you? When would you like to commit? I'll write the month down. I'll write the day down. And then I know that I can connect with them throughout that time, but I don't need to invite them through, I can wait, right? So I literally follow up with them. Some of them, if they're watching my stories, I'll literally follow up with them every single month until they tell me to stop, they block me, or they say no, right? So every month until they say something or block me or whatever. I don't think I've ever been blocked, but so workout clips. I used to waste so much time trying to create content for my damn Instagram. Now what I do, I'm just gonna show you. I think I can show you. So you see this? There's just on the left side, there's a hands-free mode. I'll use the hands-free. I select the filter, and then I literally hit I'll literally hit this button until it says 3, 2, 1. Then I run over to get my stuff ready. The first clip I never use because it's usually me trying to set up for the move. And then I'll let it, I'll just do the whole, until it, times out. I'll do the whole move the whole time, and then I usually take the third clip, and I save it because then I know for sure that I'm doing the full move. From, the full 15 seconds, I'm doing the same move. And I do that, 3 or 4 times, and then there's 3 clips. I always use 3 clips in my stories. But sometimes I'll, so I still do that. It's so not time-consuming because it's literally just 3 or 4 moves, 15 seconds, well, I guess it's a minute each. So 4 minutes, or 45 seconds, I guess. 45 seconds, save it to your phone. Then I can, upload it after with music. And there's a music feature on Instagram. Not sure if you all knew that, but I had someone ask me today, so I thought I'd share that out there. This is the most time-efficient one that I've found yet. Sometimes I'll use the app Unfold, which just kind of gives you a cool, layout. So, you can pick if you want to share. I'll show you. Oh, I haven't done any yet. But sometimes you can pick a really cool format. And then you can add writing. But this one I spend a little bit more time in, but it looks really cool. So sometimes I will do that one. But I also I will share behind the scenes. I will often share that sometimes the moves are effing hard and I don't want to do them, or I'm mentally struggling and I'm walking around for 15 seconds. I'll literally share them everything because it's so relatable. We're not superheroes. You don't need anything special to get this workout in, right? Don't be afraid to share your struggles, your progress, the pauses, the breaks. That makes you you, and that makes you strong and makes you brave. But it also, if I were to watch it, oh my gosh, she's human. She's really human. And there's no special power to it. So yeah, be real, be human. Share behind the scenes and make it relatable. We're always trying to make content that's relatable. And I think, oh yeah, plan ahead. These are the last 2, I think. Plan ahead. Mondays, national wake-up calls. Be there, be square. This will literally change your business. There are thousands of tips in these calls. And I didn't do this. I wasn't attending these calls the first year of my business. And it's this January. Yeah, this January, I was what are these calls? I watched them. I'm holy shit. Holy freaking shit. All the answers that I'm looking for are right here. Or the way that she works her business is completely not what I'm doing in mine. If this isn't working for my follow-ups, I'm going to try what she's doing in her follow-ups. And they give you scripts. They give you different tips and advice. So be literally, I beg you, start going to national wake-up calls. Beachbody Championship page. If you're wondering, if you don't remember this by the end, message me or Jess. Get in on these national wake-up calls. You will see it on the BAT on the pink sheet. I know that some of us use the Beachbody bat. Some of us use the Confidence Tracker, which is the one that I use. You can check it off. This is the National Wake Up Call. There's so much growth in this. I'm not even joking. Like it literally like snapped me into a whole new level of working my business. So get there. Team calls. It's a great place to come on. Come on, like be there. Bring a drink. Hang out. Sometimes I can't always listen. Like sit down and listen. So I have my AirPods in. I wish I had AirPods. I'll have my earplugs in, and I'll just be listening. If I'm walking around the house and I'm listening, or Chris is here, I'll put them in and I'm still listening. But this is such a great place to get to know our team. Like when we go to Summit together, when we get like rewarded to Mexico or Dominican, you will feel like you already know us, and we're such a big family. So this is a safe space to literally come and ask the questions and not feel ashamed. Like we all have questions. We're all learning. Come here, get inspired, and find some damn content for your Instagram. I'm not even kidding. Like these places, like this is family. Like I'll share this in my stories. All of you guys are like family. So come to the team calls every Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Sometimes it's in Inspire Tribe. Sometimes it's in Empower Link. But if you are not in the Team Empower page, message us. I think everyone should be. Emerald or Diamond Dash, we do these. So in case you didn't know, these happen every quarter, a month long or 2 weeks long. They're every quarter though. So you can plan ahead. Diamond Dash, same thing, every quarter. And to get into the Diamond Dash, you need to be Emerald ×2. That way you're like halfway already there. To get into the Emerald Dash, you just need to be a new working coach. But you can also be there if you're Emerald ×2 and you just need that extra push. This is like literally where the top coaches on our team will come and work with us. We actually are leading one right now, which is really cool to be on the flip side, because the first Emerald Dash that I was in, it just changed the way that I worked my business. It changed the drive that I had, because I saw everyone else like so motivated and crushing their goals. I'm like, I can do it if she can. Like she works and she's in school and whatever else, like, right? Like come here, come to learn, come with an open heart, and come ready to freaking win your goals, right? And this is where we celebrate you every step of the way. Like I mentioned before, Sundays are the days that I like to plan my week. It's kind of either Sundays or Mondays, depending on my work schedule, because I am in like a 6-week rotating schedule. But I do have a weekly calendar downstairs, and I fill in the things. Like I put in National Wake Up Calls on Mondays at 11, team call Wednesday 7:30, Emerald Dash calls. I'll literally just highlight, if it's 2 weeks long, I'll like just take a highlighter through the 2 weeks, and then I'll say at whatever time it is. But this time we didn't do it because they're all at different times. But these are where I can plan. I used to do this all the time, but I don't do it as much now just because it's become a habit for me to post on my Instagram. But I used to post motivation on Mondays, or call to action post on Mondays, transformation Tuesdays, life post Wednesdays, coaching community Thursdays, going into the weekend like Fridays. Literally, and you don't have to plan. You don't have to post that many times a day, or I mean that many times a week. You get to decide, but whatever you decide, commit to. Either go all in or go like, or get off the pot. What is it? Shit or get off the pot is something that my coach said to me. I was like, okay, I feel that. Damn. Okay, that's because you deserve this, right? Like you deserve to give it your all. So we're just here to kind of guide you along the way, but plan ahead and crush it. Coach Sneak Peeks. We should be doing these once a month to kind of help people who have been curious about it. And even for our own self, this is the place where I got to be better. I feel like I'm not really that great right now. But this is the place where I felt comfortable sharing my story. There's been times I've cried on Coach Sneak Peeks, but this is how you get better at speaking on your stories. You just do it. You show up, you kind of share what's going on. It doesn't have to be long. It doesn't have to be perfect, because you're not perfect. I've shared sometimes when my phone falls off the counter, I share that. I'm like, oh, back, sorry, I just went for a little vacay, right? Like, but these should be once a month. So if you're not in a Coach Sneak Peek, if you didn't do one this month, let's get you in a Coach Sneak Peek next month. The girls rocked our sneak peek last week. Shout out to Susie, shout out to Caitlin, shout out to Desiree for being there. Shout out to all you ladies who were there. and Charlie, who is there and shared your story and your journey. And I think we have so much power in our stories. Other people need you to show up, to be that light, to be that hope. So be in a Coach Sneak Peek planet. I usually like to do them in the middle of the month, but do whatever you want. Plan around your work and school life. When are you working this week? What classes are you in? How long are the classes? Do you have time to sit down for 10 minutes and treat yourself just to whatever you want? 20 minutes, watch a Netflix episode. But when you're watching it, can you multitask and maybe just tackle your inbox? Or if you want to just simply get away from the screen, put your phone in the other room, right? Put your phone in the other room and put it on airplane mode so you can focus on resting, because resting is just important as working. But consistency is key, right? Consistency, time and time again, you'll hear in our calls, is key to being a success in any area. If you were to like do schoolwork like once a week, you'd probably fall behind, right? If you were to show up to work whenever you felt like it or whenever it was convenient, you'd get fired. Consistency is key. So is your head and so is your heart. Take care of yourself when you're resting. Work hard when you're working, and focus. This will hopefully give you some clarity in your time, and hopefully for me, what I learned from this, like when I was really focusing on my time, is how to value the time that I did have when I was working and how to value the time that I have when I was resting. Anything extra? So Q&A, I put this in here because I spoke to my coach, and we are actually going to be hosting monthly Q&A sessions. So it's going to be in the middle of the month. So this is where you can come, like, instead of having to create a bunch of slides all at once, we have decided to come up. I took the problem that there were so many questions, and we found a solution. So every month there's going to be a Q&A. I'll post it after the Emerald Dash. And this is where you can come to ask questions, or if you can't make the call, get someone else to get your coach to ask it, or actually no, don't get your coach to ask it because she already know. But get your friend, get your accountability partner to come for you and ask. It's a great way to get them to stay accountable to their goals. It's a great way for you to reach out and get resources that aren't from your coach. If you come to us with a question, not like, well, I guess it is kind of coach related, but if we know you can find the answer on your own, we'll probably like send you to the FAQs, just because we want you to do your own research. We want you to, but these are all great because these are like tips and stuff. So it's a little different with tips, but if it's like a fact, like how many PV points do I need to stay active? We're probably going to send you to like FAQs, just because we want you to start being the own CEO of your business and doing the research for yourself, just because we had to do the same. And when are you going to check in with your success partner? Are you guys going to check in nightly? Are you guys going to check in weekly? And these are all things that are going to help you stay more accountable to your school goals, to your work goals, to your coach goals, to your resting goals, right? You can have a success partner in every area. Hey, I need to take an hour for myself today. Can you make sure? Can you encourage me? Can you check in with me that I took an hour for myself away from the screen, away from my TV, away from my phone? You can have a success partner in any area. So I hope you found these were helpful. This is only like one of the, I just didn't want it to be too long of a Zoom call. So hopefully it's not too long. I'm gonna stop sharing. I think that's it. Ooh, there we go. I think that's it. But take the time to work through this call. Take the time to pull away some tips. I hope this was helpful. I've never kind of done I don't think I've really done like a tip call before. I'm going to be working through the rest of the questions. If you have more questions about what we've talked about in here, come back to me and we'll chat. But this will be helpful for, I think, majority of the coaches, so that's why I thought it'd be really cool to do a Zoom and a presentation call, because guaranteed you're not the only one with the same question. So I hope this was helpful. Get ready for part 2. Get ready to crush the rest of September and the rest of the year. Like, it's freaking already October. It's gonna be crazy. Oh my gosh, I think it's like 3 days left. Oh no, we have like maybe a week left. That's still crazy. All right, bye friends. Hopefully this was helpful. I'm just talking in circles now. Peace out.